Hey guys, hope you all are doing well. So as the iPhone 12 is available on the market to buy, the iPhone XR's price dropped significantly and a lot of my subscribers are willing to buy the iPhone XR. But there are some things you need to consider, and a lot of my subscribers are asking me that should I buy iPhone XR for gaming, should I buy iPhone XR for this kind of works. Then I thought instead of telling them the thing, I have to explain them the thing, because the iPhone XR is a very decent product in 2020. Also, it's going to be a very decent product in 2021, but it is not going to be an amazing product in 2020 or even in 2021. I mean late 2020, not in mid 2020 or starting 2020. Now we are at the end of 2020. So if you want to buy the iPhone XR right now, I'll say you may buy the iPhone XR, you may also not buy the iPhone XR. There are certain things you need to consider before buying the iPhone XR, and there are certain kind of people that may want to buy the iPhone XR, and there are certain kind of people that do not necessarily need the iPhone XR and they do not necessarily will like the iPhone XR, because there are something those are missing, heavily missing on the iPhone XR in 2020 and late 2020 and 2021, because the 2020 is near to end, and there is iPhone 12 that's on the market and it's pretty competitive right now. If you compare the iPhone 11, 12 and the iPhone XR, they're pretty competitive. Yes, I know the prices are a thing that you are considering right now, but I understood your thing. There are some things you need to consider, so I have written down all the things over here and let's talk about every possible things, and at the end we'll be also talking about the cons of iPhone XR right now if you want to buy them. So first of all, we should see why we may want to buy the iPhone XR. First thing is, you are a heavy social media person, you want to use your phone for whole day, you want to chat on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or on Facebook Messenger, you want to use Twitter for whole day. Yes, you can absolutely do them on the iPhone XR seamlessly. If your work is limited to these kind of things like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, basically the social media things, the iPhone XR works perfectly. But if you also want to post Instagram posts like portrait mode, amazing portrait mode photos or night mode photos, then the iPhone XR is not a great deal. But if you want to chat with people, if you want to, yes, you can post photos. It's not actually super bad, but it's not as good as the iPhone 12 or the 12 Pro series or even the 11 series. Why am I going to talk about the 12 Pro series? By the way, not as good as the 11 or not as good as the 12, because the sensor size is not as large as them. We'll come back to those camera features in a bit in the con section. Number two thing is, you are a business person, you want to do email, take notes, take Zoom calls or take online classes, then the iPhone XR is a very value for money thing right now. The processor on the iPhone XR is not a bad deal, it's still pretty perfect. If you are comparing it with the latest generation Snapdragon 865, it's not going behind, it's pretty neck and neck competition. So if you want to buy it for this kind of task, yes, you can obviously do on the iPhone XR. So if you want to do those kind of things, yes, you can do, obviously you can do them amazingly on the iPhone XR. There is no deny that. You cannot do Zoom calling, you cannot take that amazing note, you cannot send emails. So if you want to do these kind of things, then obviously the iPhone XR is for you, still for you. The next one is Lite Gaming. The thing is, I may be talking a little bad ways about the phone, but Lite Gaming is a poor sound for this device. You can play PUBG kind of games, you can play Asphalt at 60 FPS without any kind of lags. So you can understand that this device is not yet poor, it's pretty powerful. If you want to play any kind of games, you can absolutely play every kind of games. But the thing is, this processor gets a little warm because it's a little backdated, and that's the reason if you do heavy gaming for a long session, then your device is going to be pretty warm. That's the thing you want to consider. So these are the three sections. If you fall into any of this section, if you want to do Lite Gaming, you want to do emailing, texting, you want to use social medias, you can absolutely go for the iPhone XR. It's not a bad deal yet. If you go to eBay or Amazon, you may get it for very good deals. Okay, now let's come into all those cons. Maybe this thing will get deal breaking for you. Let's see. So the number one thing is the camera. The camera on the iPhone XR is decent, it's not pretty powerful, you don't get the ultra wide angle lens, the camera sensors are not as big as the iPhone 11 or the 12 series. The camera sensor is much smaller than them, that means the low light performance is not going to be as good as them. The next one is the ultra wide that I have already talked about. The ultra wide lens is not available on the iPhone XR, but if you're not a landscape photographer, I don't think that it's a very necessary feature. The next one is the IP67 rating. You are not going to get the IP68 rating on the newest devices. You are only going to get the IP67 rating up to 1 meter of water resistance. So it's not huge because the iPhone 11 and the 12 supports the IP68, so those are much better than this one. The next one is poor display. The iPhone XR has only LCD display that is not as great as the iPhone 12, but if you compare this with the iPhone 11, then you don't need to compare them because they both are same things. But if you're comparing to the iPhone 12, then yes, you should definitely compare because the iPhone 12 has OLED display and the iPhone XR has LCD display that is also kind of 720p resolution. It's not even HD, full HD, so you may want to consider this thing. The next one here is the MagSafe. I think it's not a very big deal breaking things because you are not going to get the MagSafe also on the iPhone 11 series, so you should also consider the thing that you will not get the MagSafe, and MagSafe is the future as far as I think, so you may also want to consider the MagSafe thing on your iPhone. The next one is no 5G. You only get the 5G on the iPhone 12, but on the iPhone 11 you don't get the 5G, and I think that 5G is not yet super viable option for most of the locations. If you're not falling into those 5G locations, then I don't think that 5G is a very big deal breaking thing for you. So if you consider the iPhone XR that doesn't have 5G, I don't think that it's a deal breaking thing for you. All in all, the thing is, if you want to get the iPhone XR, yes, obviously you can get the iPhone XR. It's a pretty decent iPhone in 2020, or if you also want to get it in 2021, yes, absolutely you can get it. All of the things I've talked about in this video is also available in the description. If you haven't understood any single thing, then you can definitely check the description. These are the basic cons of the iPhone XR. If you are feeling any kind of hesitation with these cons, then you should definitely go with the iPhone 11 or the latest iPhone 12. If you buy the iPhone XR, you will feel great if you are falling into this category like social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or basic calling, or taking notes, taking Zoom calls, online classes, Lite Gaming for 1 or 2 hours, something like that. For this kind of work, the iPhone XR is still amazing product, then you can definitely go for this one. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I think now you can better choice the iPhone XR or the iPhone 11 or the iPhone 12. So consider the thing you need and go for that one. Don't just go for any product. Consider what you need. If you need a phone for photography or filmmaking thing, then you can definitely go for the 11 or the 12. If you don't need them, you can definitely stick to the XR.